Ho, ho, ho!
Merry Christmas, everyone. We are back, and I hope you had a fantastic Christmas. It is showtime, of course. We're going to talk about, we forgot we have a game tomorrow. It's Boxing Day, and of course, it's Aston Villa coming to Old Trafford, and I'm waiting for Jarvis to come in. He's rushing. He's been out having, his festive Christmas presents and dinners and all that stuff. But let us know in the comments, how did you celebrate your Christmas day today? Let's get ready to rumble, because we have a little bit of a preview and a little bit of a festive Christmas vibe to share. It is Christmas after all. Let's get ready to rumble, people. Let's do this.
Now, for the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world
On MUFC Realist TV.
Ladies and gentlemen, from Mandalay Bay, Las Vegas, let's get ready to rumble!
Oh, Merry Christmas. I can throw this away now because Christmas is over, right? This Christmas beanie, ridiculous beanie. How you doing? I throw that away. And guess what? Tell me, how do you feel the day before Boxing Day? Why do they call it Boxing Day? Is it because it's people are fighting? I don't know. Jarvis, welcome to the stage, my friend. How are you?
Hey,
Jarvis.
hey, how are you all doing? It's good to see you again, Mick. Merry Crimble, as they say in England.
Crimble.
Crimble.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the slang.
Yeah.
Happy Crimble.
Grinch, Scrooge, Ebenezer, Scrooge, whatever. Yeah, cool. How was your, Christmas celebrations? Of course, you celebrate yesterday, right? Because it's 24th, right?
In Norway, we celebrate on the 24th. Then we open our presents. We have our meals. We have a celebration. But we have today and tomorrow off in Norway. So that's like a holiday.
Excellent. So I did celebrate American Christmas today. Of course, I was invited. We were friends and family because we are all expats living in Thailand. So we all got together. There was like 15 people, and it was like beautiful potluck. Everyone made some dish, brought something, and contribute to the table. It's difficult when you're far away from your loved one, your families. But I have my family here, and we all got together, and beautiful. So it was a day just relaxing, because yesterday we were supposed to have the day off, and of course Manchester United, as Manchester United do, 4 p.m. releases a statement, an announcement, and that kind of broke everyone's Christmas spirit. I didn't sleep all day. I was thinking, what the hell happened here? Why is Manchester United doing this, right? But anyway, that's bygones. So today was more of a take it easy, relax, just don't check your phone. And then I was bored because I stuffed my face, as you do. You fool. Had a nap, had a snore fest, and I was like, damn, we're playing tomorrow. Jarvis, what about a preview? Yeah.
I feel the same. I'm full. I'm
Full,
finally full.
fed
I've
and
been
happy.
eating enough 2 days in a row. So yeah.
Look,
Tomorrow I think I have a salad.
you have a salad. Look, I opened the fridge. There's leftovers. Come on, seriously, that's gonna be there for three days. You gotta be tired. You don't want to see Christmas food the next Christmas. Honest to God. Anyway, big up for everyone that made to this Christmas special. How are you doing this Christmas Eve? I know it's a day of giving, but some people are unfortunate. Some people don't have family, and some, in certain circumstances around the world. We're talking about a certain country which you're not allowed to mention right now. There's some crisis, a few countries, and there's misery all around. So my thoughts and prayers goes to all of these victims, if we may speak, because YouTube algorithm doesn't allow you, but you can use your imagination. It starts with G, letter G, and it's not Gas Taylor, but it's almost the same as gas, Gaz. Yeah. Anyway, so big up to you. Let us know. Merry Christmas. How did you spend your Christmas? And what did you get in Christmas present, Jarvis?
What did I get? I got Christmas socks.
Jocks as usual. Jocks.
Socks, yeah, and a couple
Underwear.
of bottles of red wine, some
Oh, brilliant.
champagne, boring stuff, and new skiing pants for going to
Skin
in the
pants.
mountains, alpine skiing. So yeah,
Wicked.
that's
Why
it.
is it so,
What did
Jarvis?
you
Why is
get,
it
Mick?
so?
Besides
Ah,
your big screen projector, did you get
lots
anything
of
else?
food, lots of love, lots of. I don't know. I just got the projector. I'm happy with that one because this is it. Like I'm watching football on a mega big wall, right?
Mm,
This is man cave extravaganza, right? And I can
yeah,
put like when I'm not watching, I'm using it as a backdrop, which is pretty cool. So I'm quite happy regarding that. Like what? But no, other than that, like I didn't get much.
It's
You
strange,
know,
Mick. The older you get, the less presents you get.
no, true.
I
But of
bet you when
course,
you're 80, you get like half a present,
yeah. But why is
maybe
it
a
so? Like
flower.
I got the same. Like I don't need socks down here, like because there's no need for socks where I'm living right now. But always I get the jocks, the underwears. Why is it so that all the fathers and the husbands only get for Christmas? It's so predictable. You get your underwears, the boxer shorts, and you get your socks, or
And
maybe
maybe
you
a
get a
tie
shirt
now
and a
and then.
tie and a tie and a
Yeah.
tie. Standard. So
Yeah, but
predictable.
the thing is, we don't throw out our old jocks. We wear them until they just
Yeah,
went.
like Homer Simpson or up to your armpits. Yeah.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, it's so predictable. Oh, what can that be? You have to play surprise, like you feel it's soft. Oh, here we go again. It's the jocks and the boxes. John Johnson in the house. Merry Christmas to you, John
Hey,
Johnson.
John Johnson.
How are you doing? Merry Christmas to you and your family. Neil Driscoll is also here to say Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you, Neil Driscoll, and hope you're
Love
having a
Neil.
fantastic Christmas Eve as well, or Christmas Day Eve in a way. Jarle Malmin, he said, I got a bad feeling about this. Good day and Merry Christmas. I'm very
Right.
worried about the midfield with be Ericsson, Scotty, and Bruno tomorrow. We will talk about that. Park that bus, Jarle. We'll talk about that. Big up for everyone that's tuning in. I know and I respect it's Christmas Eve. Not many people are doing streaming today, but we decided today we're going to do it anyway because hey, that's what we do. It's Manchester United fan channel content. We got to provide the content. So, Jamie Wayne is here. What you saying, Jamie Wayne? Think this time to start drinking again to drown my sorrows of supporting
No,
this club. Oh, come on, Jamie. Don't be like Scrooge. It's the Christmas spirit, but I do understand. And you know what? It hasn't been easy for us as United fans since we kicked off the season. I totally understand. I totally get that. But imagine me and Jarvis sitting here playing record week in, week out, day in and day out. Win, lose, draw. We're always there for you guys. It's not easy for us either. And that we get together here over Christmas to press record is because of you. We love you guys. You are an amazing community. And thank you for all the love and support over this year and this season. So let's do this together, guys. I know if you have mental issues, you're suffering from depression, anxiety, talk to us. Let us know in the chat, because it's so difficult when it's not going well for the club to be down. And I get it, like in the Telegram chat, what we have, we support each other and there might be some different opinions, but at the end of the day, we're here for one another. So big up to you, Jamie, and say hello to your family and your girlfriend and everything. What's this Jolly saying? I do drink Christmas. I'm drinking Christmas, Jamie. I had one beer today. I had one beer and a glass of wine.
It's okay.
Oh, yeah.
You're an adult.
Like, go for jog or punching a bag. That's a good tip, Yala. Thank you. Punching a bag is good, right? And Neil Driscoll is saying, would nice if United gets 3 points tomorrow and score some goals, but would leave any sleep on it. But I wouldn't sleep on it. Yeah, I totally understand. Yeah, seriously, Villa is if you look at current form, Jarvis, 10 games unbeaten. They've been on a tremendous run, to be honest, right? I think it's like, if you look at it, Emery's, they come into the Boxing Day clash at Old Trafford, 10 games unbeaten in all competition, 7 wins, 3 draws. But they did drop unexpectedly a 1-1 draw against Sheffield United with Saniolo scored the late goals. They kind of ended up draw. They could have lost that one. But If you look at it, they only lost the past 6. They only lost 1 in the last 6 Premier League away games. So the away game form is pretty good, right? But we're going to look at how they set up. Thanks to Stiehausen as well. I did pinch a little bit of his content today, because and I will give credit to Steve because I really love Steve's analysis. Right? Do you like Stiehausen's as well?
Yeah, I watch him from time to time. I like him. He has some good footballing views. So yeah, big up to Steve Housen. Good guy.
Yeah. So if you look at, the danger man for me is Ollie Watkins as well, but it's the way Unai Emery is setting up his shape. Like, I don't know. I can't really get if he plays a 4-4-2 when he's off the ball, or he plays like a 4-4-1-1, like, but when they are not, sort of when they are attacking, it looks like a 4-3-3-3, like, like a really weird shape.
No. It's a 4-2-2-2. You remember the Ragnick formation.
So the Ragnick formation.
It's very compressed to the center of the field.
Yeah, Ragnick ball.
And they try to flood the midfield. So that's what they are.
That's it. Flood the midfield. Yeah. Flood the midfield. That's what they do, right? And this is something that Ragnick brought in, but our players didn't have the intelligence or the IQ to understand, or.
Yeah. I just saw a commentary from Footy Live. He said, "Big up evening, guys. I just did the show with Tom and Nuruddin and Saeed.
Wow, so you were there.
Yeah, and Tom said he wanted to come on, so I will send him the link, and we will have another.
Sure. The more the merrier. It's Christmas, guys.
2 seconds. I will just send the link to Tom.
Yeah. Anyway, Sanjay said, "Good evening, everyone. Good evening to you. Kenny Fan TV is here as well. Yalim Amin, Merry Christmas," says Sanjay to everyone. And big up. Mark Davis is here as well to say, "Good evening, guys. Merry Christmas. Did you both have a good Christmas? I'm sorry to say that this United will be beaten tomorrow by Villa. No goals in the last 4 games. Love, Mark." That's what we're feeling. But however, we are playing at Old Trafford, and we will see. We have been goalless. We haven't scored in the last 4 games, but something got to drop. And they, on the other hand, play a very, very offensive high line. Like, they're one of the best in the league to play offensive high line. So they play like an Unai Emery plays that offside trap by playing very high. So it depends on how Ten Hag will line up. Will he throw in a Rashford in there to hit him on the break? You got to be aware of that offside trap.
Yeah. It worries me. The problem is we haven't scored a goal, and it happens. You can go game by game without scoring goals, but what worries me, we haven't produced chances. We haven't produced nothing when it comes to going forward. Yeah, we have had our half chances. We had two chances against Liverpool, and we had. Did we have? Yeah, we had 1 chance with Garnacho in the last game. So we're not producing much, and this is what worries me. And I'm not quite sure how Ten Hag is going to break it down and fix it. Højlund looks out of ideas at the moment. We only hoof it up to Højlund, and he wrestles with the center backs. We don't create anything from our flanks. Our midfielders are not creative.
You said it yourself.
These are not good. I'm not sure where is the goals coming from.
Where's the inspiration coming from? True.
Yeah.
And it's all depending on how he sets up, because if they're flooding the midfield, then our midfield needs to be strong. And I would like to say that in contradiction what you're saying, that if you know what Unai Emery is going to set up, I'll argue to the point that, I'll share the lineup, what I think he will line up like with. I want to add it to this stage, and this is a typical what he lined up last time, like Martinez, Alejandro Moreno, Langlet, Carlos, Konza, Saniolo, McGinn is a super player, Ramsey, Douglas Luiz, and of course, like they will play a 4-4-2. This is kind of like they play with 2 strikers or a supporting striker and Ollie Watkins on top, right? So they usually tend to flood over the midfield in certain ways. So I would say it's suicide if you play up Scott McTominay, like, to play up there. Like, I would say that now is the time to implement that double pivot to safeguard that midfield and provide a little bit more creativity. Kobe Mainu has some killer passes. We've seen it. But Amrabat needs to play deep to support, to bring up the ball from the back, right? And God damn it, Bruno Fernandes, do your job, right? Do your creativity job. because we've been talking about this for a very, very long time. 4 games without any goal. Last game, Rashford didn't touch the ball almost. Højlund got one chance, didn't convert. But we need more. We need more. One thing is to be defensive, but now we're playing at Old Trafford, so we need to attack as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. I see Rushmana comes in with a good talking point. I see he said, let's see if the announcement yesterday will have an effect on the players. Let's face it, they are playing for the future. So let's see the intensity tomorrow. And that's a good point. Maybe they will feel the pressure because there will be new ownership and a new sporting model coming in. And now they definitely have to prove themselves going forward. So it will surprise me a lot if we don't see a lot of effort tomorrow, if they don't give it all. But it all again comes down to the abilities. I think we will huff and puff in the beginning of the game. We will try to create chances. We'll try to put them under pressure. They will neutralize us, score on the counter. Our heads will drop, and then we will concede 1, 2, 3 goals. That's how we see the game tomorrow. How do you see it, Mick?
Yeah, I would tell you exactly, but I see we deserve better coming here to say my husband died December 14th. 2021. So this time of the year is always difficult. So a day of gentle reflection here. Big up to you, man. Big up. Big support
Put a
from
love
us.
heart in the chat.
Put a love heart for we deserve better.
Christmas time is not easy for people. It's a time when we remember family, and if we have lost family this year, it's always like sometimes everybody feels something is missing. I had the same thing myself. We had some close family member who passed away this year, and it hasn't been easy this Christmas. So my heart goes out to the ones who have felt this, and put a low heart in the chat, and make people feel a little bit better. Thank you, Lilis.
Yeah, big up, Jack. Big up. Merry Christmas to you, Jack. You haven't been here for a while. Big up for making it, and Merry Christmas to you and your family. Listen, I remember clearly like how difficult it is to be without family on a Christmas. Like I was a uni student in Australia, broken up with the missus and everything else, and I was stuck. And there was one work colleague open up her home for me to say, Mick, you're not going to celebrate Christmas alone. Invited me to her family. There was like 30, 40 people of her family. I will never forget, right? I will never forget. I was miserable, depressed, broken up with, sitting there by myself without anyone. And she invited me to celebrate Christmas. So that is a memory I will never forget, So I can relate to of course, this is not losing any loved one, but being by yourself, and especially on this time of the year, my heart and thoughts goes out to, I've been in that situation, and it's not nice when you look around that everyone is happy, everyone with friends and family, but when you're totally alone in a country that you don't know anyone and you get invited like that, that was special. That was kind of special. How I see the game depends on how we set up, Jarvis, to be honest. Like, we are struggling against the low block, and we are talking about Unai Emery here. Unai Emery currently, he's been sneaking up from behind. Nobody really expected him, to be in this position where he is today. Coming from behind, basically they're sitting 1 point away from top on the first spot. It is unbelievable. And I think they are the underdogs here. There's this surprise element. And if they beat us tomorrow, they go on top, right? So I like the way Unai Emery is playing his football. He was criticized under Arsenal, but now he has the tools to play with. And now he has his squad to play with the preferred style. So I do expect a tight game. I do expect, being in a home game, and they have a good run. But still, I do expect the Old Trafford faithful to rock up tomorrow on Boxing Day and support the team. And I do believe what you said, that there might be a spark from this announcement of Ineos. Or, however, we will talk about that Ineos announcement as well. What does that mean? But it's going to be a tight game. It's going to be a decided moment. It might be a 2-1 United or 2-2 or draw. Even a loss.
Okay. 2-2.
But it depends on how
goal in us.
But it depends on if Ten Hag has done his homework correctly. If he studied Unai Emery's football, he met Unai Emery before, even in Spain. He is proven to be a mastermind tactician, like in the way he sets up off the ball and when he presses and on the ball. Like it's what you said. He plays that 4-2-2-2, like, you know, dun 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 dun, when they
Yeah, it's a
are
very
moving
compact
forward.
team. It's hard to break
Compact,
down, and
yeah.
that's the thing. And another thing when it comes to managers like Unai Emery, we have the Bournemouth manager, we have met managers when we played Sevilla, Villarreal, Atletico Madrid, and players like that. They're very, I would say, pragmatic in a way, and it depends on how we play against them, and they will adapt. And wait us out. They will trap us, and that's what I feel tomorrow. There will be a lot of
Yeah, no, we gotta be, you know,
I think we'll
like
follow.
you gotta play like you play against Liverpool. You gotta figure out Klopp. You gotta be reactive, proactive. That's what we did well. I mean, we did well against Klopp, way in Anfield. We went to London Stadium and totally fell into David Moyes' trap. You know, Ten Hag needs to work himself out of that trap. You know, so barring that, you know, you have the team sheet in front of you. You will know exactly how to play. You know Unai Emery style. Don't set up this stupid, silly, willy team right now. Play a double pivot. You know, don't play Scott McTominay because Scott McTominay in this game doesn't make any sense whatsoever, right? We will dive into the team as well. So big up, yeah. My dinner was great.
It's right, Mick. But we know what will happen. We will see in the starting the 11 tomorrow. McTominay will be the first one on the sheet for Ten Hag.
Yeah, and I believe we will score at some point, but Rushmano is saying we'll dive into who will score, and I believe tomorrow has to be the day that we feed the ball to Rasmus Højlund's feet, right? Give him chances and he will score.
Do you think Rasmus will play tomorrow?
Yes, I think. It will be suicide to play Rashford on top. That doesn't make any
Martial,
sense.
you mean? Martial. Yeah.
Rashford. Martial is injured.
Oh, Rashford. Yeah. Well, it depends on the game plan. But for me, we spoke about it on my last show, and yeah, I agree with what those guys said. I think Højlund looks a little bit knackered at the moment. He looks tired. He looks out of ideas. So maybe it's time to let him start on the bench.
Not ideas. It's a lack of confidence because he's dropping down deep because he's not getting any service. That's the thing, right? If only our midfielders and the wingers start servicing the ball into the middle, like, and you got to change it up a bit. You got to use a little bit of creativity. So far, it's been just being compact, defending, but not attacking properly. Like, you know, something has given, and that's the attack. You know, we're not conceding goals as much. We did concede 2 goals in the late because of the concentration issues. So big up Samu RY187. Merry Christmas to you and smoking a fatty. Oh my God. If that trick tickles your feather, wicked. Listen, Merry Christmas. Let's just dive right into it. I love that you guys are coming in here. Carlos is here. You know, there's a lot of comments in here. We will get back to your comments as well. But I want to, instead of indulge yourself, like, you know, I was watching Steve and I'm going to play a little bit clip of this, what he said. So big up Steve House, and I really love his technical analysis. And I will leave a link and the credit, like, you know, thank you, Steve.
And the Trafford Paddock guys.
And the Stratford Paddock guys. So we are good friends with the Stratford Paddock guys. So let's have a look at that. And you know, at the end of the day, let's agree or disagree, like, you know, and then we can compose our team as well. So just going to add this to the stage.
Emery sets up very much in a modern 4-4-2. He uses central midfielders as wingers. They come inside. They create a box midfield. And while a second striker, which he's using Moussa Diaby for, occasionally Leon Bailey, he'll take up width on the right, and Luca Dean will spread play on the left-hand side. They have the technical and dynamic quality all over the pitch that's capable of blitzing teams if they aren't on song, with Douglas Luiz being the conductor for them in midfield.
So Douglas Luiz is the register. Now, this is what we're talking about. Off the ball, they're playing with a 4-4-2, right?
Yeah. You can call it that.
And Douglas Luiz is being the register, the conductor that controls the tempo there. Okay.
Worried about this game. I am genuinely worried about this game. Luca Dean leads the Premier League in crosses into the penalty area. John McGinn has been the biggest beneficiary of his change in role. He's created more chances than ever before. On the ball, Villa look for control through possession, and it's a 4-2-2 shape that passes the ball through the lines, looking to find line-breaking options and passes because they're operating in weird little half spaces and pockets of space. That's a little bit more unorthodox to some of the formations that we see all the time.
So this is the one, Jarvis, that we were talking about. This is the Ragnick press or the Ragnick system. But where is the width coming from, if I may ask you? Like if they're playing such a narrow in the midfield, like, overflowing the midfield and in attack. So meaning that the wing backs are bombing forward and providing width.
Yeah, it is. It is. Luka Ding has been the fullback or the winger or whatever you want to call him, who had the most crosses in Premier League this season, I believe. So yeah, it's basically the wing backs as I see it. But they have Bailey on the other side who's bombing forward and he's ultra fast. So they have a lot of elements in this team, and everybody's impressed by Aston Villa this season. Even Ferguson said before the season that everybody should look out for Aston Villa. So Unai Emery, he's one of the best managers in the world. He's been training PSG, he's been managing Arsenal, so he had a lot of experience with Villarreal, and so he knows what he's doing. And this Villa team, they have owners who are wealthy, they have money, so they don't need to sell anyone. They have consistency in the group of players. We have seen Ollie Watkins been here for a lot of years. He started out like scoring in the 7-2 win against Liverpool. I think he scored 4 goals. Everybody got their eyes out for him, and since that he have had the time to develop, and now he's one of the best strikers in the Premier League, I believe.
I like Ollie Watkins though. He's one of my favorite strikers, and I said Aston Villa is the surprise team of the season, and I said don't sleep on Villa, right? So it's not surprising where they're sitting at the moment because they're well drilled, well organized by a master tactician, or you cannot. You cannot just underestimate Unai Emery, the way he's set up. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But talking about Villa, we know they are good. They're probably better than us. Oh, you want to play the rest of the video, or?
Yeah, sure. Now we're just having a discussion.
I just wanted to go over to Man United, but we can wait with that.
Yeah, we can wait. We'll United.
They overload midfield. They try and find Watkins or Baye Diaby running in behind. Watkins has been transformed under Emery, and he's operating at a world-class level. And he's not just scoring goals, he's getting a hatful of chances. When you see how many chances he's had versus someone like a Højlund, you go, well, yeah, of course he's scoring more goals. He's getting infinitely more chances.
That's it.
Off the ball, Villa defend in a compact, very orthodox 4-4-2. They use an aggressive high field press up the pitch, and Villa have the best offside trap in the Premier League. They've caught.
This is the one I was talking about, the offside trap, and as they play a very high line, Jarvis. So this, if you know this, then you know it's up to Ten Hag how he line up, and he might start Rashford like as a left winger, not Garnacho, for the pace, and Højlund lowering in the background, beating them, because once the VR technology is there, and if they play a very high line press, it might be a conversion at the end of the day if we play on the counter.
Opponents offside 74 times this season. So this is where you have to look for maybe a late run. This is where you have to look for things in half spaces. This is where you have to play with a little bit of intelligence. And United at the moment can't get first gear plan A right. So looking for people that are maybe going to be offside, be seen as offside, and then maybe get like a late run that comes in to take the ball as it's played. That's a very tricky thing to do. It looks sensational when it comes off, but it's extremely difficult to actually get going off the start. But that is how you play against teams that are going to have an offside trap. Okay, cool. We're going to have a late run. And we're going to watch them step up and time our runs perfectly and then just pass it to a guy that's in space, hitting it at the right time. You have to really, really, really delay your runs to do that. The average across the league is 28.9. So the fact that they've caught opponents off 74 times is an absolute joke.
Yeah.
But it leaves options.
It's an offside trap. So, Jarvis, do you agree what Steve's saying there?
Yeah, they play a high line when they press, but you got to remember the several phases of play during a game. So when sometimes if we are pressing them, they will go over to a pragmatic style and be more compact and play with the lower line, like with mid block or maybe a semi low block. So it depends, you know. But yeah, they do go a little bit gung ho sometimes when they press, and but you know, we got Onana and we have Evans and we have Varane or
Yeah.
whoever in this who will play out and play over their first press. So this will be walk in the park, no problems.
No problems. Now we're feeling a little bit positive.
It leaves
Uh,
options and opportunities. And with Martinez, they do have one of the best keepers in the world as a bit of a safety blanket, and he's mad as a box of frogs, which helps. Star man in this game for me, I think for Villa, will be Ollie
Ollie
Watkins.
Watkins.
He
Yeah.
has been one of the players of the season so far. Deceptively strong. He is powerful. Very little weaknesses to his game. He's quite an orthodox kind of number 9. He is dangerous dribbling with the ball, as he is
I like
waiting
Watkins,
for
as I
it, running
said.
in behind. 2-footed, good in the air, and this season put himself in the top echelon of forwards in the league.
So Ollie Watkins for me, as I said, like he's a similar traits to Mason Greenwood, 2-footed, you know, unpredictable. He gets himself in good positions. He's technical. He's a little bit of a, you know, he's got still lots of things to develop, but he's actually converting. He's amazing. Now Steve's going into his Manchester United team and how to beat. But before Steve does that, I want to do that as a community, knowing what we know right here, how they're going to line up, how they're pressing, how they're going off the ball and attacking formation. How would you think, Jarvis, that we would line up? And big up, Tom. How are you
Yeah,
doing?
I
Merry
just want to
Christmas,
say
Tom.
hello to Tom. Tom.
Yeah, big up, guys. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Tom. How you doing?
Yeah, not bad, guys. Not bad.
Not
Got
bad,
2
not bad. You're
cents.
just coming into. Did you hear the overall? I mean, I played a little bit clip from Steve House and the way, but we're coming into how, if we know that Unai Emery is going to set up that way, like, you know, he will play a 4-4-2 like off the ball, like, you know, but he will then switch to typical the Ragnick style, like with a 4-2-2-2, like, you know, with the pressing line when we're attacking. So they're pretty much going to overflood our midfield. I don't see Scott McTominay being picked tomorrow. I hope he will not be. But do you reckon Scott McTominay will fit in this game tomorrow, or do you think we'll play a double pivot?
I hope we'll play a double pivot, but he will play Scott McTominay. He's going to, because the thing that I said before when I was on with Jarvis, Nuruddin, and Saeed was McTominay at this moment in time is a goal threat, and we don't score enough goals. So at the end of the day, he's going to play players who he believes can score for him. If the attackers haven't been pulling up trees in recent weeks, well, Scott McTominay has been the only player that really has in scoring goals. Everything else, completely abysmal and shocking. But he's got a goal in him. That's the only thing you can say with McTominay.
Okay. Guys, I want to engage with you guys, Jarvis and Tom here. Big up to everyone. This is my thinking of lineup. Like, you know, I think, you know, the back four needs to be Luke Shaw, Johnny Evans, Varane, and Wan-Bissaka. Wan-Bissaka because of his defensive abilities, right? We think we need to sort of have Kobe Mainoo and Amrabat and Bruno Fernandes. My question is here. Will you drop Alejandro Garnacho for Rashford, knowing that they're playing a high line and always setting up an offside trap with Rashford on that pace? Højlund, 100%, and Anthony, we need a little bit of width of that wing as well. I want to hear from you, Jarvis. What do you think? Am I on something, or would you do something different here?
Yeah, I would change it all up. You know, we have been dreadful the last 4
Stack
games.
them
Haven't
all.
scored a goal. Now it's time to change it up to show. I believe everybody. I think 99% of the fan base believe we will lose tomorrow. So Ten Hag basically has nothing to lose. So it's time to show us something else. You know, what else do Ten Hag has up his sleeve? For me, I would go with a completely different team. I have been thinking with this, and you know, I can just share my team for tomorrow and Mick while we speak, and you can see it what I'm thinking. So basically, I'd go for something like this. Maybe Unana, Luke Shaw as centre back Regulon because he can bump forward. The same with Elo. I would put in some legs with Mabry. I would put in Ericsson to have some composure on the ball. He can dictate the tempo. I would put Pelestri to play because I believe Pelestri is a good player, and I would give Højlund a rest and play Martial. Not that I believe Martial can do anything special, but at least we're trying to change it up. And I think, if we could play a team like this, maybe we could have a chance. But playing the same usual suspects, I don't think it will give us anything except from a loss tomorrow.
Yeah, you have support from... Actually, before you go to Tom, Charlie here drops, actually supports what you comment. Drop Anthony from Pelistri. Let's hear from Tom as well. What do you reckon? It's interesting. Tom,
I just got a phone call. I apologize from Tom.
Yeah. Before I go to the comment section, and we have a lot of people tuning in. We have an Aston Villa fan coming in here as well. By the looks of it, big up John Dopper, June. I can't read it, man. I don't have my glasses on. John Dopper, big up. We have an Aston Villa fan as well. But this means that we are heading for a boxing match tomorrow. It's crazy, isn't it? But I certainly. I'm worried about the Aston Villa team. I cannot lie. And I really, if there is somebody that will win the league this season, if from a neutral perspective, if I step outside my Manchester United shirt, I wish there would be an Aston Villa, like in 2016 when nobody expected Leicester to win the league. This might be the Aston Villa moment, and a little bit of a big in towards like an Arsenal and Liverpool, because
interesting.
To ask me who would win the league, to choose between Arsenal and Villa, Arsenal and Liverpool, is to choose between a slow death and a cancer. You know what I mean? It's just the same shit, right?
Well, for me, Arsenal every day over Liverpool.
Oh, of course, Arsenal every day. Guys, let us know in the comment section who would you prefer to win the league. Villa, press 1, 2 for Liverpool, 3 for 3 for Arsenal.
I just want to address one comment from Neil Driscoll. He talked about Exeter, and he asked me a question. He said Jarvis did note that supporter club in Norway who are Exeter City fan, and there's a lot of people who support Exeter in Norway. Actually, I don't know why, but I think maybe they were good in the 70s or something way back. So Exeter, isn't that in the south? I think it's Devon. Isn't that the county of Exeter? It's southwest. So basically, we have a lot of. It's just me mumbling on. But interesting, Neil Driscoll.
Interesting. And we have our rival fan saying, "Good luck for tomorrow. Hope it's a great game either way." That's the spirit, right? Even if it's rivalry, or I really appreciate it. It's Boxing Day. All I want to see is good football, toe-to-toe football. And I think it's going to be an interesting game tomorrow. I can say
that maybe Jan Dupper, if you have YouTube, say in the chat if you want to jump on and give us your view on the game.
Sure,
that would
man.
be really interesting hearing from an Aston Villa fan's perspective.
Yeah, we can share the link if you want to come. Let us know, Janda Dopper, if you want to come in and have a say about your team. We're more than open to share the link with you, mate. But you can paste it in the chat. But just give us an indication if you're okay to come in. Just let us know in the chat as well, and we will share the link. Big up Liverpool. Let's see. I'm just going to go what the poll is saying. 1, we have Araya saying 1, Liverpool to end the misery. No, I don't want Liverpool to win the league. No way. Is Tom still around, or is Tom on a call?
He had a call, so I don't know. Maybe he's busy. Business. Even in Christmas.
He's dealing and wheeling on Christmas. What is this? So Jarvis, this is your team selection, and I think it's a good team selection, to be honest. Reguilon, Luke Shaw. I thought about that as well, as a Luke Shaw, as a left-footed centre back next to Varane. Diego Dalot, but I was thinking Diego Dalot, that's more attacking. We need a little bit of Aaron Wan-Bissaka, but I agree the midfield, mate. I really agree. And Martial is injured, so put Højlund in, because Højlund deserves his goals. He needs to score tomorrow. God damn it. Alejandro Garnacho, not sure. Pelistri, yes, but I still think that I don't know, man. I just don't know. For
me, it's only it's about mixing it up. It's about mixing it up, do something else, because now we have tried for 4 games. We haven't scored a goal. We have lost most of the games. So now it's time to try something else.
Yep. Let's see.
But I think the fan base would appreciate it, even if we lose. At least we tried something. Because now Ten Hag is dying on that hill, playing McTominay every game. I think we are all fed up with that guy. We don't want him in this team. He's not good enough. The only thing he contributes is a goal now and then. But besides that, it's nothing. You can see it on his heat map. He doesn't move around. He's not on the ball. He's a liability. It's like we're playing with one less player on the field. So we can't keep doing this experience with
Mark is wondering why you're obsessed with Ericsson can't keep the pace in 60 minutes.
Yeah, so play him for one half then. You know, Ericsson is 100% more a baller than most of our midfielders.
100%. We need. That's what we're missing. And I agree with you. We're missing the creativity, like, you know, and in a certain ways you can play defensive by playing two defensive midfielder, but one of them has more of a technical ability, and there's Kobe Mainoo, like, you know, in the way he's, you know, stringing the passes. We've seen that before. We have Arsenal fans here in the house as well. To say Ten Hag in for sure, and we have the Villa fans say I can't speak on chat, no problems. Unai Emery is who has done it. In all honesty, lads, the guy is an absolutely wizard. Yes, big up. Listen, all due respect, if you don't want to come in and have a chat, you can chat in the chat room as well. I just want to continue to sort of hear what Steve Housen, what team he picked, you know, because basically this is your team, this is my team, what I believe it's going to be, and let's see what Housen has to say, okay?
Yep.
For Manchester United, then, the 11, I'm going to go with Wan-Bissaka.
Oh, you picked Wan-Bissaka.
Shaw.
Yes.
Evans Varane. Kobe and Amrabat, I think it has to be.
Yeah, me too.
Bruno in the hole. Anthony, Højlund, Rashford.
Oh, he picked Rashford.
I'm not sure there's any other options. And the match winner for United, I think, is Højlund. Now, this offside trap, it's sensational. It's extremely good. If United time the passes from Bruno into Højlund correctly, their line is so high. That's another reason they've caught so many people offside, is their line is freakishly high. So while their line is freakishly high, there will be balls. Just put speculative balls in there. Marcus for Højlund, and see if they can get on the end of those. And that's why Højlund is my match winner. His pace and his power is perfect for this game. And that high line, I think Torres has been a great signing for them, if not a surprising one. But I think he's been an absolutely great signing for them. And Pau Torres could be in serious trouble if Højlund times his run correctly. And not only have you got to time your run so it looks onside, with VAR, you've got to really be onside with this. So I wouldn't be surprised to see this go through, not be called offside, and put the ball in the back of the net, and then VAR to strike one off against us. I see that being a big feature in this game. So let's watch out for that one.
He almost spoke what I said as well, like, you know, the high line and Højlund and maybe Rashford. You know what I mean? But I kind of understood later on. He said 2-1 to United. He believes it's going to be a 2-1 to United. You know? I don't know.
Christmas miracle. He's hoping for a Christmas miracle.
You back, Tom?
Big up, Tom. How do you see the team tomorrow? Did you see our lineups? This is Mick's lineup. I'll show you on screen right now. We have Luke Shaw, Evans, Varane, Bissaka, Mainoo, Amrabat, Fernandes, Garnacho, Anthony, and Højlund. And I'm in for mixing it up. I want to try something else with Reguilon on left back, Luke Shaw centre back, Pilestri on the right, and Ericsson and Mabry in midfield. So how do you see your team? And what would you like to do?
I would have gone the same back four as what Mick did. Onana will play, so let's just face facts in saying that. Mainoo and Amrabat as a pivot.
Yep.
I'd put Ericsson at the 10. I wouldn't play Fernandes personally. I don't think he's performed or pulled up many trees recently at all.
So Ericsson is a number 10.
I'd play Ericsson as a number 10.
Okay, I'm just.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
To be
agree.
fair, yeah, I'd stick with what I said earlier. I'd take Garnacho out because I think the kid's being burnt out at the moment. I think he needs a bit
And
of a
then
break.
Rashford. You play Rashford in.
I'd play Rashford. Yeah, he
And
just
that's
sat
it.
on the sidelines for long enough.
Pelistri?
Pulisic maybe, but I wouldn't be bothered
I don't
to
think so.
be honest, Mick. Just leave it between. I don't mind Anthony either. Anthony or Pulisic. I don't really think it makes much
Okay,
difference.
this is more balanced now. And I kind of agree with you because he's kind of burned out a little bit of Garnacho.
Yeah.
Will he give a Rashford trust? Because we're talking about the high line, right, Jarvis? We're talking about the high line. And, when you get older, you actually do get a high line, like this, Jarvis.
Yeah,
You get a high
yeah.
line here. You got to beat that high line. Beat the
High.
trap.
I have no high line.
I got pinned back. Ladies and gentlemen, in the VR room, let us know what we can do. Arsenal Manic is saying, where is Mason Mount? Yes, where is Mason?
Fitness injury.
He's injured. My God, what a shambles. I will go with that, guys. But in terms of score prediction, I don't really know. I don't want to jinx it. But interestingly enough,
The thing I don't understand, Mick, is why would Unai Emery go with a high line and high pressure against us on Old Trafford? We saw Chelsea when they tried it.
Maybe we can ask, the Villa fan here. So in his opinion, he needs to get rid of 5 players and the manager, Sir Jim, coming in a great step in the right direction. That's coming from a rival, though. But maybe he can answer in the chat. So
Yeah,
ask the
because
question.
what I can't understand is why would someone go at us at Old Trafford? They know we have nothing. We will huff and puff, and they can just sit there and take it and absorb the pressure. And then when we have tired legs, then it's time for them to go take a go at us. So in a way, it would be not a wise decision from Emery to go with the high line and try to press us.
But how do you think he will line up then? How do you think he's going to play the game at Old Trafford?
Yeah, I
Maybe
believe he will
Tom.
go more pragmatic. I think he will play a mid block. Yeah,
a mid block.
Pragmatic and just absorb our pressure and wait us out. And when he have when the moment is there, he will strike.
So, Tom, do you agree that he might park the bus with the mid block? Because one thing everyone knows is Manchester United sucks when they play a low block.
Yeah.
We can't break it down.
No, we can't break it down. And that's why I said that I'd put Eriksen in there instead of Fernandes, because he's more consistent with his passes. That's the only reason why I would play them out of the two. Because if they play what we're saying is a low block, what do you need? You don't need Eriksen's legs running around here. Let's face it, you don't. And that's all Fernandes would give you. He would give you, added from what Eriksen can give you, the legs. But I think Eriksen from drop ball situations is more dangerous than Fernandes, as I said before earlier on the Ridden stream. I don't think Fernandes poses that much of a threat, drop ball or corners. That's why I would have played Eriksen.
I would also play.
Yeah.
Or more legs. It's more what Jarvis is saying. More legs play like Hannibal there. No, the big up Charlie. I can see what you're writing there as well. Like he was saying 0-1 to Villa, but he's hard saying 2-1, and I also say 2-1 to United. Eriksen first half, Bruno second. What Rushmano is saying. What else do we have here in the comments section? Keep it coming. United 0, Villa 3. Pickup Port saying United had problems. What are you saying, Pickup Port? United had problems for over 5 years with getting the ball to the strikers. 100% agree. That is a fact, Jarvis. Alexis Sanchez, Cavani, Lukaku, Ronaldo, even Weghorst. Our creative midfield is not good. So Bruno better show up in big games. And that is a very, very valid point. Exactly. It goes back to 5 years that our creative midfield is not providing any service to our striker. So what's the point of having that number 9 if you're feeding him, right? But how do we beat them, though? How do we beat them? That's the question.
I'll be honest in saying it. We need something fluker. Something fluker. I can't see us scoring a team goal, not with the way the morale is right now. A fluky goal, dodgy VAR decision. Honestly, I'm
a VAR on the high line.
This is what I mean. I'm literally on the end of my tether with it. I'm clutching at straws just to even get the win. The way if Unai Emery's as smart as we all think he is, he'll approach this as the same way the Bournemouth guy did, Iraola. Sit in for say 20 minutes. Sit in, fill the game out. See what you're up against. See if they're up for it or not. And if they're not, bully them. Put the legs into them. Put your back into them. Tackle for the ball, duels, the lot of it. Go full throttle at them, and they'll run all over the bloody top of us. But the one thing that I can say with Villa's team, in comparison to when we played West Ham didn't play their creative players centrally. And as soon as David Moyes analysed that you can play through this midfield of Manchester United's, in that game, in that time frame, he switched and he put his two most creative players central, Paqueta and Kudus, and they ran straight through the middle of us. And that's where arguably both of the goals came from, the middle of the park, and then played it in. But in this game, with Villa, they have players who don't necessarily have to be centre forwards or attacking midfielders. Douglas Luiz is a brilliant passer of the ball, 60, 50 yards. Kamara, a bag of energy.
But I think Kamara is suspended. I think he got a red card.
Is he? Okay, fair enough.
He's not playing.
That helps us out. Anyway, but like I said, they've got so many creative players, guys. And put it this way, if Villa went, I don't think Unai Emery is that stupid enough to put all his firepower on from minute one. I think either one of Diaby or Bailey will sit on the bench. Me personally, I think he'll probably sit Bailey on the bench because he has come up.
He will sit Bailey on the bench. This is exactly the way I picked it. Luca Dean, Langlet, Diego Costa, Konzan. They will definitely line up tomorrow in the back four. I had Ramsey, Douglas Luiz. Really think he's one of the best midfielders. Like, he's been the conductor there, and he will have John McGinn and Zanilo. Right?
Is Torres injured then?
Torres is injured. And apparently, Boubacar Kamara is also suspended, so he will not play. And Diaby and Watkins there on front, right? As a front two. Maybe Diaby will play as a shadow striker, and Ollie Watkins more of the number 9.
I think you'd go 4-4-2 though, because the way that you'd have with Diaby is if he plays off of Watkins, then you can also create the spacing behind if United come too far up the field, and they'll transition on us. And the only thing that I'd say with that midfield anyway is as soon as they get that ball out wide to either Jacob Ramsey or Zaniolo, you already know what they're going to do. Play it into the channel and they're up the field. Because the way that we play, where we have basically 3 centre-halves sat on our own on our halfway line, just play it to the width where the areas are and you're gone. It's as simple as that. Diaby or Watkins, none of our back four, if you play Johnny Evans, if you play Wan-Bissaka, if you play Varane, Shaw, any of them, they're not catching either of the two of them. They're not. It's as simple as that. So the basics of the foundation that we need to play tomorrow is, even if we did it, guys, and we played as a mid-block, and it did it as a surprise to Aston Villa, and then we fill the game out, a bit like what Bournemouth did, and use it against Villa. Fill the game out for 20 minutes, see what they're going to do. If they want to go for it, and they're up for it, right, we know we're going to have chances in the game, so then we can gamble a bit. But the one thing that I want to see with us in this game is I want to see us gamble in the final third. If you play the high line, just like Villa do, gamble. You might not know the offside trap rule, but Villa, Spurs and Son, he could have had a hat-trick against Villa. Every single one of his goals was offside because they master that in participation. And that's why I say, guys, a drop ball expert, for me, is vital in this game. Because you play the ball in behind to Højlund or Rashford or whoever, it might seem as easy as that if you're playing against the high line. These lads at the back, they know what they're doing at Villa. They know what they're doing. They know how to play. Unai Emery's done this for years and years. It's won him Europa Leagues. He's banked on this. That's winning major trophies. So the guy knows what he's doing, and he's not a novice of the game. And the thing, but
when you then set up a 4-4-2 yourself, then instead of playing that 4-2-3-1 system.
This is what I'm saying to you, Mick, and this is why I've said countless times with Ten Hag, try something different. I don't care if it's formation, because the thing is, guys, and, VR, he has tried different personnel, and that's not working. He's tried bringing players out and moving players in. Rashford's been out of the team for a couple of weeks. Fernandes didn't play for the last game. You've had a back four that's always changed every single week. The one thing that I would say, especially with our team, is if you're gonna keep the same team and changing a few players isn't making that much of a difference, change the shape, try something new. The guy doesn't have one style. Like the guy that I knew at Ajax in Erik ten Hag, he could play 3 different formations. That's the guy that I knew at Ajax. But the guy at Manchester United, I've only ever seen a 4-3-3, and it's always unbalanced either in midfield or out wide.
Yeah.
So
listen, I'm starting to refurbishing it because I'm hearing, because if I looked at the lineup, because if they're going to play a 4-4-2, why don't you match it like for like and start your creativity players, have Amrabat, Kobe Mainoo, and Anthony, or maybe not Anthony. Anthony offers like a track back situation, but maybe you should play a Pelistri there for the low center of gravity and for the technical abilities. But on the front line, if you're going to beat the press or if you're going to beat the high line, you'll have 2 pacey forwards, right? Constantly there. And Luke Shaw can tuck in and flood that midfield as well and leave Varane and Evans here in the back. So you can have a compact, block that midfield, because the game will be won and lost in that midfield, according to my opinion, though, right? Jarvis, what's your opinion? Like, would you change it 4-4-2 like this?
Well, basically, we play a 4-4-1-1 sometimes. It depends, on the phases of play. I just want to add this, and you can see here what I mean. But when I talk about this, is basically the 4-4-1-1 is just like we defend like this. So this is a 4-4-1-1. So basically we have several types, or we go in attack with the 4-3-3, or so the 4-2-3-1 is just like the what do you call it? The formation we start with, and it's about the phases of play for me. One of the biggest problems now, we have had a big gap in the midfield, and our wingers haven't been contributing enough to be compact the midfield. That's been a problem. I don't know with Eric tomorrow if he plays. I'm almost 99% sure that he will play Bruno. Let's say he play Bruno, and I will just bring up out. Oh, where is Bruno?
Bruno. Yeah.
Bruno.
Anyway, guys,
Where is Bruno? No, he's not even here.
it's
Bruno has
interesting.
disappeared.
I cannot lie. I'm a little bit worried about this one, but I'm not.
For me, tomorrow when it comes to Bruno, I think it will be a problem because he's too wasteful sometimes. I think Bruno is all over the place. But if we don't play McTominay, maybe Bruno will work. I don't know. What do you think, Mick? Has Bruno a chance?
We have a chance if Ten Hag lines up the correct formation and we try something different, because to do the same thing over and over again, that's the difference of insanity to expect different results. You got to come out your own, bubble to say this ain't working. Here you need a combative midfield. You need to flood it. You need to be compact, but at the same time, you need to be attacking. So yeah, that's why I sort of refurbished, and I would love to play a 4-4-2, maybe a 4-4-2 diamond there, to complement his playing style by playing Rashford and Højlund as the double pivot strikers, right? So we will see, but it will be a tight game according to my opinion, and we have to sort of be compact. We have to defend as a team, press as a team, attack as a team as well. So it's all depending on what personnel you set up tomorrow, and it's down to Erik ten Hag how he will sort of, if he had time to think about it and implement it in training. But we will see. Regarding the scoring, I don't see a high scoring line. I see a draw or maybe a 2-1 United. What do you reckon, Tom? Should we do the spin the wheel, or should we just leave it to the fate? Or?
Yeah, we can do the predictions quick if you like, Mick. We do have a couple of other subjects that just want to bring up before we go.
Just check the chat room and see if you have any interesting comments while I prepare this.
Yeah, I can just bring up this because yesterday I read that Isaac Hansen Oran is most likely option. Seemed that he will leave the club permanently in January due to lack of gaming time. He's 19 years old. He's one of the biggest talents in Norway. In Norway, we call him the Norwegian Modric. He's extremely good. Everybody saw him in the FA Youth Cup final. He played as a winger, but he's basically more a centrally playmaker. I would call him. He could be a regista, he could be a deep lane playmaker, he can be a box to box, whatever you want to use him. And he's very technical, he's good on the ball, and he has smartness in his play. He knows football. So for me, that will be a big loss. What do you reckon, Tom?
Yeah,
Is this a good move for Man United?
Is it what, Sir Jarvis? You cut out for a second.
Is it? What's your opinions about the Isaac? Isaac is leaving, maybe.
Shocking.
Do you feel it's a loss?
I do, yeah.
It's a loss.
I feel with some of these kids, if they feel like they're getting a lack of game time, put them on a loan deal. Put them on a loan somewhere. And the thing that we do badly as a football club is we mistreat players. Players never leave our club in a good demeanour or in a good way. It's very rare. Very rare. Even our legends, when Sir Alex Ferguson was here, they didn't leave in a great way. A lot of them. Your heroes of now and today. And same with young players like Isaac Hansen. Listen, he might go on and be what you're saying, Jarvis, and go and be the next, the Norwegian Luka Modric or whatever. He might go and do that. And who knows, we might be in the same situation 4 years down the line, and we might buy him for £80 million. But the problem we have is we don't have the connections in European football to get him to a top European club, get him playing regular minutes week in, week out. Top football clubs do that. We don't. It's as simple as that.
But I heard that City was after him. I heard City wanted Manchester City wanted him, but he will not get minutes there either.
But they'll put him on a good loan deal, Mick. That's the only difference.
Yeah.
And he might develop.
If it's a loan deal, that's fine. If it's a loan deal, but not on a permanent.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't agree. Yeah, we have a very good academy, the best academy that we've seen for 10 years coming through right now. We should hold on to these players because they are the future, right? If they're not getting any we did a shambles in the summer. We did a fire sale of academy and players in Deadwood. I think it was almost up to 20 players, right? That we sold for nothing. Was City played? They sold this Palmer kid for hasn't even kicked the ball in the senior team, and they sold him for 40 million. So we need, if we're gonna sell him for 40, sell him for 50, generate some money, right? But I said no. And I want to see more what he's about. Give him a loan spell, let him play football.
Yeah, I see here Rushmano comes in and said his best mate is a City player, Oscar Bob. They are mates. He wants to go to City at the moment, it seems like. But for me, I see some people said that it's not physically enough, he's too weak. But I will tell you, this guy, he's not big built, but he's tough as nails. And he's a combative midfielder, and he has technique and he has wisdom in his play. So, and we saw it this summer. Ten Hag played him in the training games during the summer, and I think he had expectations. He wanted to play more games, even be on the bench, get 10 minutes here, 15 minutes there. But it's been nothing, and we see the same with Dan Gore. So we have a lot of up and coming youngsters at the moment, and I'm not sure why we are not even giving them a try to let them in a way, because Mainu is good enough, Garnacho is good enough at the moment, but we have a lot of youngsters, the talents in this club, and they are promising, So for me, I think it's time, because a lot of these players who are in the team at the moment, they are obviously not good enough. They have been there from 5 to 10 years and not even performing, so get rid of them. Let's at least try something.
He was good at preseason. We have a Liverpool fan here coming in to say, is there some Muckelmeisers on here? What is a Muckelmeiser? I don't know that. Do you know what a Muckelmeiser is?
I haven't got a clue.
I haven't have a clue, mate. Please express yourself. I know Gas Taylor is here as well. Big up, Gas. How are you doing, my friend? If we play McTominay and Bruno tomorrow, we get screwed. Who's controlling the chat? It's not me. Somebody's controlling the chat.
Sorry.
Maybe we have Ebenezer Scrooge in here. Gas Taylor, if we play McTominay and Bruno in the middle, we lose again with 24% takeover, 100%. With the 25% takeover, 50 pence. I don't know what you're talking about, mate. So, okay. Anyway, big up to you. Merry Christmas as well. Rushmano, he was promised minutes, but he hasn't materialized. And that's what it is like. Another Zidane Iqbal deal. Yeah, and that's what it is. So, yeah, if they're not... Wayne Best is here as well. I can see a lot of people... in the chat that I haven't seen before. So big up, welcome to the stream as well. I hope you had a fantastic Christmas. In what reality does more than 5-8 youngsters debut in a Premier League team? Don't know, Mark. Don't know. Let's move on as well to the comment section. Okay. Ahmad will go on the loan too. That's what the latest rumor. I want to see more of Ahmad. We bought him from Atalanta like bloody 3 years ago or something, 2 years ago. He hasn't even played a first team football. We keep loaning out. I'm tired of this loan. Library
I think we
FC.
bought like 45 millions for Ahmad.
Yeah, something very
It was
expensive.
a large sum of money from Atalanta. So, yeah.
And what are you saying, Wayne Best? We need a ST. What is a ST?
Striker.
Striker. Okay, I can't see striker.
Probably striker.
Yeah. Anyway, big up, guys.
Striker.
Yeah, big up. So I would say, like, no, I don't know. If it's about to sell him, I wouldn't sell him. I would loan him out, for a season just to get minutes. But we got to get to the point that enough of loaning up players. We've been Library FC with the new potential takeover. It wasn't. I mean, it was just a scandal to release it on Christmas Eve, but it wasn't really 100% guaranteed when you read the whole overall statement, Tom. He said he's set to acquire, but he hasn't acquired because there was some also borrowing on the approval of minority stakeholders and Premier League fitness and proper test and New York Stock Exchange. So he's not written in stone. It was just an announcement by the club, right? But I would say, like, fuck you, Manchester United, for doing that on a Christmas Eve, because basically they did that so nobody could criticize them. And barring on the loss that we came off a loss for 2-0, like we got battered 2-0 against Aston Villa, they released this on purpose because they knew that nobody would be able to criticize them over Christmas period. What's your thoughts and opinions regarding that?
Well, first of all, I'll change the word. It's not a takeover; it's an investment. Let's face facts, because there isn't any significant change. The same people still own our football club, so it's not a takeover.
Yep.
That's the one thing that I'd say from the whole thing. And this theory that somebody's coming in with 25%, he's not even bought 25%, guys. He's bought 17% of controlling vote shares, which do absolutely sod all. And then he's got an agreement in place. We don't know how tight this agreement is, by the way, to say that he's going to have control of football operations. So Jim's coming to fix it, lads, basically. He's going to get his Bob the Builder hat on. He's going to come on top of the roof. He's going to fix it. The one thing that I'll say about all this anyway, and I said this before on Nuruddin's channel a couple of weeks ago, if this deal goes through and he doesn't have an exit clause to buy them out, he might be dead before these guys even get any money from him. And I said it previously anyway before. The Glazers will outlive Sir Jim.
They will. He's 71 years of age.
They've got money here and now. They've got investment coming in. They've got a fall guy that they can now fall back on and say, well, you can't blame us anymore. We don't control the football operations. We're the money men. We're doing brilliant on the commercial side. And let's be honest, guys, commercially, Manchester United have been a success for years. They have been. That's where the focus has always been. It's not been football.
Yeah.
So if Sir Jim, it can go one of two ways. If Sir Jim's going to be the Lord and Saviour, he's going to come in with his boys and he's going to make United successful again. Or it's going to crash and burn, and then the blame's all going to be on Sir Jim, because that's what all of us care about, the football. We can give a shite about who our shirt sponsor is or whatever. We just care about if we're going to win on a Saturday or a Sunday. That's what we care about. So,
but listen, Mark makes a very good comment, because it took me 24 hours to dissect and read through everything. And it's an investment with money. You cannot really put money directly into the club. So the 300 pledge was for future buying shares. At the end of the day, it was just agreement for him to buy into the Class B shares, which is the Glazers shares. Doesn't give him bloody all. And then if you read at the very end, depending on approval from the minority stakeholders and Premier League fitness and fitnesses, this can still be voted down. For me, it was just more of an announcement to say that we have come to agreement to let him buy some shares. That's it, right?
Can I just add to that? Can I just add to that as well, Mick? Anyway, this 17% that he's buying of the Class B shares, there's a certain clause and an agreement that the Glazer family had when they put Manchester United on the New York Stock Exchange, and that was any shareholder that they sell shares to. Joel and Avram have sold a couple of shares over the years. When they sell shares to individuals, either privately, as individuals, and collectively now they're doing it as a family, when they sell the shares out to an individual that doesn't have the surname Glazer, those Class B shares translate to Class A shares.
Yes,
So
exactly.
effectively, he has no controlling power or voting rights in Manchester United. So what he's buying off the Glazers might be Class B shares, but as soon as he buys them, they change anyway. So he's got 25% of Class A shares, but the only difference is he's been given the wheel to run the football. That's it.
That's it. He's been outsourcing and giving, like, here you go, run our operations, and we see how we go. Listen, one thing that I was looking for was, okay, once this has been announced or whatever, if there is a clause, a road path for 100% buyout, which is not, because here's the trapdoor, right? What I understood, that means that anyone can now come in and buy more Class B shares. It's open market, right? What he did is just, they can because they haven't promised any exclusivity whatsoever. And I just don't understand how, maybe you just wanted to invest to be part of a Premier League club, because he said in an interview before, like, if you go back 1 year, he said, me, Bob, Job, and all this, so we always have a dream to own a Premier League club. And that's all they wanted to do, right? So this is to get one foot on the door, but the Glazers screwed them over as well, I would say, because they didn't give them exclusivity. Come June 2024, they might be still open. This is not probably the financial review is not probably open. Somebody can come in and buy the remaining of Class B and Class A, and he can still be a minority investor, because this is an investment, right? You hold a certain percentage share, right? I'm not drumming on Qatar, and it means the Saudi can come in, UAE or whatever can come in and just buy the rest.
Yeah, the only difference with that, Mick, is the only thing that he has in place with the family, well, supposedly in the contract, is the day that they want to sell any more of their shares, he gets first refusal. That's it. So if they want to sell 1% of their shares or the whole lot, they go to Sijim first and say, here's our price. That's what you can buy us out for. Do you want to do it or not? And if he says, no, I don't want to pay that price, they can just flutter their shares to whoever they want. That could be Qatar. Listen, we never know on this channel.
Yeah.
We might get the revenues to go and buy Manchester United. You never know. And we could have
give us more super chats and we will buy
there you
Manchester
go.
United.
Yeah, but Jim has first refusal. Yes, refusal.
He has first refusal on the offer. But if he doesn't agree a price with them for those other shares, what does that even make? It doesn't. And with how long
if it's a first refusal, like, let's say if you come up to, I will come in and I buy $40 per share, he cannot match it. That's the thing.
No, he can't.
No, he can't.
He can't match it. The only way that he can match it is if Ineos got involved. But he's got to get all his shareholders within Ineos to back him to do it. For which a couple of them are going to look at it and think, hang on a minute, we're going to lose money as a business, and I might not even be a football man. What's the point in doing that? The only way that this will ever work with Sir Jim Ratcliffe at Manchester United is if he's the majority owner. That's the only way this will ever work.
Okay, if we're talking now, the opening statement, they made a very sure PR way to say he's a boyhood Manchester United fan looking to invest, yada, yada, yada. But if you are a fucking boyhood Manchester United fan, you just shot yourself in the foot, because majority of the Manchester United fan base don't want the Glazers in. So you just enable them to stay another couple of years. So basically, Glazers bought themselves a little bit of time. Tell me where this money's coming. Where is this going to? It ain't going to the club whatsoever. You're not allowed to pump in your 300 million into anything. So we're still in the same situation.
717 million pounds straight into the Glazer siblings' pockets.
Yeah. So we're still back.
717 million. That's a lot of money.
But we are still
stealing a living.
Yeah, but we are still stuck at the same ground zero where we started today. Even if this is announced, nothing has changed.
Mick, that what you just said there, 770 million. They broke even as a family.
Yeah,
that's the money that they used 700 million pounds of debt to buy Manchester United and loaded it on our football club. But the difference is 700 million pounds is still on Manchester United, but they've just got 700 million pounds and they put it in their own pocket. This is what I'm saying about. This is what I'm saying about. So anything that they sell from now on, after this deal's done and completed, guys, they're making a profit. That's where their gains come from. But the only thing with Sir Jim is, how can you influence football operations when you can't influence what a shirt sponsor deal is going to be? So you can't influence how much money United will make. You can't,
because the money is with the commercial.
This is what I'm saying, Mick, and this is why I'm saying him coming in with his boys. What difference is it going to make when they're going to be gagged by not having any finances to do anything with? Unless
how are you going to make return on investment unless you go into the Super League?
Unless you go into the Super League, or unless Sir Jim's going to get his magic wallet out and buy the rest of the shares for whatever price they want. That's why, unless he was coming in as the majority owner and they was going to be the minority stakeholder and have nothing to do with the football club, as a lot of us thought that is how he was going down it, and he was going to buy 50% of it, so then they would drop down to 20. But the problem is, overall with Sir Jim Ratcliffe, it's just PR. And it's shite, guys. Let's be honest. Yeah. Jarvis, I said to you yesterday when you read the statement out, there was one word, and I forgot it again. There was one word in that statement, and it absolutely alienated me. I can't remember what the word was now, and it was almost as if it might go to Manchester United, but it might not.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, one word can define how you interpret something. Like $300 million is going to go into Manchester United infrastructure. Potentially, you might as well just put the word potentially, because it doesn't mean that it's not a fact.
It's just basically Glazers. Nobody wanted to loan out money to the Glazers because they're broke motherfuckers. You know what I mean? Sorry for swearing.
And
so
then
Uncle Jim comes in there. Here, I give you some money, but you got to give me some shares in return, right? So that's what it is, mate.
And then he has the audacity to use a company registered in the Isle of Man. For anybody who knows where that are, another tax-free haven, the Isle of Man, which supposedly has a link name to an Eric Cantona quote, but also it's debt-free. I'm not surprised it's debt-free. He doesn't have to pay any taxes, guys. But it's Sir Jim, he's the local boy, isn't he? He's the guy who wants fracking right. He wants the fracking rights. He wants to ruin the environment and communities around the world. That's Sir Jim Ratcliffe for you guys. Tax evading dodger in Monaco.
Okay, listen, I got one issue, and I couldn't sleep yesterday. I was looking around different fan channels, and I do respect. I got to give it to Mark Goldbridge. Sometimes I don't agree, sometimes I agree, but he called it out perfectly fine. He said it right. This doesn't change anything, right? There was one thing that he was looking for, and it was say if there is a path for a full buyout, which there wasn't. Now he's totally against it. Then on the other hand, I saw another. I'm not going to mention name. Cracking up a beer and celebrating for this 25%, and that's like an open admitting that he never wanted this state back money anyway, mate. So basically, what you're celebrating for if the Glaze is still there, so what it doesn't mean all this 18 years of protesting and suffering and looting of the Glaze, and they still sit there because Jim enabled them to do so. But on the other hand, I'm going to spin another spanner in the wheel here to say it's normal practice when you have an mergers and acquisition or takeover that you have somebody investing a minority stake in the winning bid. I always say that. So that means that Glazers might have sold a little bit of a share percentage, but the winning bid might be somebody coming in later on to buy the rest, because they always wanted like 10 billion at the end of the day. So you put 1 point whatever, you have somebody invested a minority in there, and then somebody comes in and owns 80%, whatever, or 78%. It is plausible. It happened before. So we might have seen a small fractional investment, which is say we're not going to give you exclusivity. So they open the door for another. Let's say 92 Holding Foundation might come back in later on, right? But there will still be the minority investors that buy Glazers out, and you still have Ineos to hold a fraction of the Class B shares, right? And then they can form their own board and whatever they want.
Mick, the word was intended that Tom was looking for. So
there you go. Sorry, yeah.
A 300 million fund intended to enable future investment into the club's infrastructure at Old Trafford. So it's intended.
So
they have an intention, maybe.
They have an intention. Oh, he's a local boy. So Jim Ratcliffe from Failsworth. Or the guy who's a multi-billionaire but doesn't live in the UK because he don't want to pay taxes. The guy who has all these registered companies in Monaco. In the Isle of Man, tax-free haven.
But
Cayman
you know
Islands.
what is dodgy for me, right, guys? What is dodgy for me? They were rushing to get this announcement statement through the club as before Christmas. They were rushing through because we got pelters over Aston Villa. They're trying to stop the protest that's going to, potentially take place over Boxing Day. They needed to put something out. But if you read the overall statement, he doesn't say that he has acquired. He's attempted to acquire, barring that certain things needs to be aligned. But the Glazers had agreed that you can do that on $33 per share, right? And you can buy up to 25% on the Class A shares. Read it carefully. It doesn't really say it's 100% secure. It's just an announcement. That's what it is. It's not a purchase agreement.
Yeah.
I don't know if you picked it up, but anyway. So this could be voted down.
From the club.
It is, but it can fall through. It can fall through.
Yeah, well,
it can fall through.
That will be stock manipulation in a way because it's a listed company, so they have to be careful when if the club.
But where is the protest? If fans don't want this, where is the protest been organized
Guys,
for Boxing Day?
I'm gonna say it for what it is with Sir Jim. I don't trust the guy. I think he's a snake. I think the way that he come into this process saying he's a local boy, he's gonna put the Manchester back into Manchester United, buy 69%. He bottled it because he didn't want to pay the big bucks to buy it. Then as soon as he's realised that he can cut a deal with the family, he's done it. He's going to bring in Jean-Claude Blanc, fair enough, a respectable guy within football. I can get behind that as an appointment and an individual. If he gets rein to do what he wants to do. He's going to bring in Dodgy Dave from cycling, in Dave Brosford, who, if anybody knows the stories around the inhalers, there you go. Jarvis has just done the initiation for you there. Anybody knows the story around inhalers and the cheating and corruption that gone on within Ineos Grenadiers and in Team Sky at the time, when he was in control of that, we'll know about Dodgy Dave. So at the end of the day, guys, he's going to bring in sports experts. Sports experts is completely different to football experts. Dave Brailsford knows how to get on a bike and pedal. He doesn't know how to steer a wheel of a football club at the size of United, and he's made a pig's ear of it for 3-4 years at fucking Nice.
Jean-Paul Blanc is more on the commercial side, marketing.
Exactly.
So he's good for the commercial.
Guy, Mick. He's a marketing guy. He's not going to be a football hands-on operator. So you're getting Dodgy Dave, who knows how to pedal a bike, to try and run the biggest football club in the world. And people want to sit here and tell me that he's going to make a change and he's going to do things differently. It's not going to happen. Unless I see proper football people, like a sporting director, and I'm not here for this shite around a person who's been at Crystal Palace for 2 years. I want someone proper. I want a proper renowned person out there who's got contacts, who's got a meaningful name in football. A Mitchell, an Ashworth, somebody who's got some zing to it.
Exactly.
Who's actually done something as a football director, not recruit from within John Murto. Bang, here we go. It's not going to happen. So Dodgy Dave, if you think Dodgy Dave and Sir Jim with 17% of Class B shares is going to come in and solve all our problems, then mate, hold tight.
Dodgy Dave.
Yeah.
Big up chat as well, going mental. They're reacting to your speech. They say, preach, Dodgy Dave. 100%, guys. It's just like, they destroyed a Christmas by this, but it left you thinking. Like when you dissect everything, it's what Jolly Mommy said. We don't really know anything. We need more clarity of it. But so far, it's just been. It left the door open for a lot of questions, But then it's not really 100% completed or being signed off as of yet. So yeah, anything can be happening. It could be voted down from the minority investors as well. If you read the statement as well, they are doing this because they are they put this statement is because they don't want to be challenged by minority investors. So maybe they will wake up after the Boxing Day where everyone is back and put a challenge. We don't know. Anything can happen, right? Read the first line from the statement. It's exactly what I said, Gas. The first line of the announcement. It was something like, he hasn't come to agreement, but he tend to buy something like that. Can't really remember. I will read the first statement. Anyway, we're here to do the score prediction, guys. Anyway,
it's only acquired up to 25%, so it doesn't say it will buy 25%, but it's up to 20%. The first line is Manchester United PLC reaches agreement for Jim Ratcliffe, chairman of Ineos, to acquire up to a 25% shareholding.
They give him the permission to acquire.
Yeah.
But
I
it
just
doesn't
want to
say
say
he's
something
gonna.
that Tom mentioned about Class A and Class B shares. If someone else with not the surname Glazers buys the shares, I read an article from The Athletic earlier this year, and they talked about this subject, and they this is just The Athletic. It's not my words, but they said here, if you can read it, thank you Athletic for letting me share this. They say in the fine print of documents related to United shares, it states affiliates of holders of Class B shares are accepted from the automatic conversion to Class A. So basically, it's about what you define as affiliates.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not saying you have to be a Glazer, but you have to be an affiliate.
But if they don't have to give him it, Jarvis, that if they don't have to give Jim Class B shares, they're not going to. Why would you give a guy voting power because the argument that they would say is, why are we going to give you voting power when you have football power? That's the argument that you would probably say to that. But even with the conversions, guys, listen, we can sit here and say it can convert them from Class B to Class A. The Glazers are still here, so nothing changes, guys.
Exactly.
Nothing changes. So
Preach. Can I say? Can I just say? Listen, this is classical that just did on the eve of Christmas to divide you and conquer. To say this is because I see a lot of people say, "Well, it's not so bad. We get sporting director, we get a recruitment director, we get a new CEO, right?" But they keep forgetting that's what they're doing on purpose on a marketing perspective. So and releasing this announcement, so you will still forget that. Hang on a second, who's still at the back seat, right? They don't want any protesters, but when people sober up and see what it is, like they call it for what it is, they're not going to be happy, right? Because people don't want to be bothered of the Christmas. But once you sober up and you actually read the whole statement, you will go, what the hell,
Yeah.
This is not so. You understand what I'm trying to say? It's similar what happens. They feed you this. Oh, we give you this latest striker. We give you this, and people get giddy to buy the shirts. The same thing here. They're trying to feed you like he's going to take care of the sporting. Everything's going to be better. But then you're saying, hang on a second. What money? We're still stuck with debt. We're still stuck with this. What money is he going to invest in? Because the commercial side is the one that makes money, right?
Mm-hmm.
So basically, it was getting a loan from Uncle Jimmy there to say, look, because the banks don't want to give him any more loans. They maxed out all the credit cards and all the facilities. So it's basically Jim's giving them some money to have 2 seats on the board, and that's about it.
Yeah, 2 seats on the board, and
with no pathway to buy the remaining of the club. So that means that they left it open for anyone to come in and purchase for what the set of president here right now for $33 per share. The next you will see that somebody will buy it for 38 or 40 fair price, because they already set that line 33. They made sure the 33 is the bottom line. You cannot buy now the remaining of shares below 33. You got to match the bid over that. So it's a clever thing, right?
Yeah, and then if it comes to voting power, Mick, and somebody else comes in and buys the rest of them shares, well, suddenly they've got more than Sir Jim has. Even if they dilute back to Class A shares, they've got more than Sir Jim, so they control the business. And if that person don't want to work with Sir Jim, bye-bye. I'll buy you out, but I can buy you out for whatever price I decide because I'm the majority owner.
They fooled us all. They fooled us all 100%. They fooled everyone. What was the point of doing the shadow bidding process in the first place and then appointing Rainy Group? Unless there's something more surprise coming, which we don't know.
We know what it is. We know what it is. What happened on Thursday, Mick? What happened on Thursday?
Super League. It was
and
I was out here on Monday talking about Super League, and then Thursday came and everyone was talking about Super League.
On the Super League, so because of they can't have a monopoly, Super League is on. And 3 days after, we've been waiting for this for over 12 months. But 3 days after the Super League ruling,
who is the champion of the Super League behind the scenes? Joel Glazer.
On Christmas Eve, Jim Ratcliffe is investing 25% into Man United. We know what's going to happen.
Guys, this had to come out. Like, we have to, ease the chest. Maybe this is a podcast for another time. Guys, we have a game to play tomorrow. Let's spin the wheel. I'm just going to add this to the stage, guys. So listen, we deserve better. Fans, we are saying recruitment is the best. I can read you guys. But listen, at the end of the day, Tom, what's your score prediction? I put it 1-0, 1-1, 2-0, 2-1, 3-0, 3-1, or 4-0. It could go either way. You got to pick 1-0, 1-1, draw. Or should I even have a 2-2?
Spin once.
No, pick it. We'll pick a team and then just whatever the score is. That's what I'd rather.
Yeah. Hang on. I gotta put in a 2-2 here.
0-2, 0-1, 0-3. You got to pick in more. I don't believe we will
1-0, 1-1, 2-0, 2-1, and I have 2-2, 3-0, and 3-1. I don't think it's going to be higher. Let's leave it like this, right?
Yeah, I'd say, to be honest with you, mate, I'd save the hassle. Just put a 0 on the end of all of them because we're not going to score.
Okay.
That's honestly what I would do. But spin the wheel anyway, Villa.
Guys, let us know what your score prediction is. Let's go.
Villa
I
for me and whatever
predict,
score this is.
0-2.
3-1. 2-2. 2-2.
Scott
a draw.
McTominay.
I'll take a draw.
A draw.
I'll take it.
You take a draw.
Oh, I bite you on
Fair
that
play.
for it right
A
now.
draw. A draw. What is the people saying? A United 1, Villa 4. United 0-2. A lot of people think we're going to get bashed. Manchester United 1, Aston Villa 3. You are thinking that we are going to get bashed. At the end of the day, we will see tomorrow. What you saying, Nash? Big up to you. What do you guys think? There's another twist. I think it's another twist. As I said, I think they left the door open there by not letting Sir Jim Ratcliffe, buying out. There was no road path for buying 100%. They left it open, and basically by putting the fair price evaluation of $33 leaves that you have to buy over the $33 because that's the benchmark.
Mm-hmm.
We know they always wanted to have a 10 billion, so maybe it will come, maybe not. We don't know. 7-0 Ten Hag. Big up to you, man.
Get in
what
there.
The hell? Get in there. We're getting giddy. Anyway, thank you guys. It's been 1 hour and 30 minutes. We were not supposed to do this, but we have a preview and nobody else is streaming. So maybe a lot of Manchester United fans are bored, watching, eating. Thank you for coming in and tuning in. So it's going to be a late game for me tomorrow. We have a kickoff 3 a.m. in the morning for me, Jarvis. 3 a.m.
Yeah, it's a late one.
It is a late one. But I don't know. I'm hoping for a win, but I said 2-1 United. That's what I say, even if it says 2-2. What about you, Jarvis? Hand on your heart.
Yeah, I think we will lose. We will lose.
Okay.
Sadly. 2-0.
2-0. Jarvis is spot on, as per usual. Tom, you said, but you think it's going to be a 2-1 United or draw or loss?
No, I think we're losing 3-0.
3-0.
Yeah.
Thank you for your positivity on Christmas Day, guys.
I don't have much hope.
Thank you for spoiling my Christmas. Thank you, lads. Thank you, guys, for coming in. Let's see tomorrow. The ball is run. Anything can happen. You got to be positive, right? We're playing a Theatre Dreams. It's Christmas, Boxing Day. Everyone is going to be cheerful, happy. It's about cheering up the team. It's but also down to Ten Hag how you pick, because we have gone over how Unai Emery will line up probably, but it's down to you, Eric. Show us that you can do it, guys. Show us. Big up everyone for coming in. Thank you, Tom, and enjoy the rest of your day. Hopefully we see you tomorrow. Are you going to the game tomorrow by any chance?
No, I went to the West Ham game though.
Oh, you did, yeah.
Yeah.
Wicked.
What a load of farce that was.
Oh, that was shit. Yeah, anyway.
That's 300
Good night,
quid
people. Good night, okie dokies. There's a lot of people tuning in here. Akok Iman Song. Good night, mate. Good night to you as well. Good night to all the new people that I've seen in the chat. Please come back for more. Rush Maino, big up all the legends in the chat. Thank you for all the super chats donations the other day. And thank you for continuing supporting this channel. We are 20,050 subscribers today. By any chance, we just reached 20,000 just on the Christmas Eve. And we channel has just been around for 1 year and 3 months. So big up, But I'm absolutely knackered and I need to sleep. It's like, you know what time it is? 5:30 a.m.
It's
Jesus
morning.
Christ. Yeah. I was watching Santa, like, you know, I put up my socks, he never came. Like, you know, I was guarding. Never came. Right. Anyway, Tom. Everyone, big up. And Mark, I can see you, producer Mark. Just want to bring him to the stage. Big up, Mark. Merry Christmas to you and your family. How you doing?
Merry Christmas, everyone. I'm good. Just got back in from traveling across cities, so everything is good.
Everything
The
is good.
deal
What's your score
announcement yesterday
prediction?
was tragic to the Christmas, man. Tragic.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, what's your score prediction for tomorrow, mate?
I don't know. I actually think United might pull something out of the game. Like I see things a little bit differently from Jarvis. You know, I just think that the West Ham game was one of those games where if our club was winning games and we went to West Ham and we lost that game, we wouldn't be that disappointed because they created lots of chances. It's just the strikers didn't take the chances. So I didn't see West Ham dominated us. I think we dominated West Ham, but lost basically to two mistakes, that key mistakes that they punished us upon. You know what I mean? I hope we don't start Luke Shaw because for the last 4 games, he's been the one that's been costing us the most because everything's been coming down the left-hand side. The first goals in the last 3 games came off the left because Luke Shaw doesn't get back in time. So I think maybe at centre-back will be good. Start Reguilon. Yeah, I hope for a United win or get a result, to be fair, because
big up for finally somebody comes in and spread some positivity. But majority of the VR room, the chats are believing we're going to have a loss. A cock is coming in to say Manchester United 4, Villa 1. Man, don't jinx it. But if it's your opinion, it's your opinion. Happy Christmas to you, Leon France, of coming in. Good to see you, Leon. Hope you had a fantastic Christmas as well. Mark is also putting a Christmas tree. I love that cigar, man. Share some with me because I really need to
Platinum Bridge. Great name.
Platinum Bridge. Mark Platinum Bridge. Maybe it's Gold Bridge in the platinum disguise. Anyway, Tom, big up to you. Merry Christmas to your family. Mark as well. Jarvis, we see you all tomorrow, right? To the next video.
Yeah.
We will do the post-match preview. Maybe the watch along, depends on how Poppy's feeling. He's been feeling a little bit under the weather, but we definitely will be here for the highlights. And hopefully, win, lose, draw, we're here for you guys. Merry Christmas, continuous Merry Christmas, and a happy year. And thank you for watching. Good night, people. Glory, glory, Manchester United. Glazes out, green and gold, rat out as well. Bye. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching MUFC Realist TV. Don't forget to like and subscribe and follow us on the socials.